Republican interest for Musk cools after his feud with Trump, new poll finds. New York Post. Tech billionaire Elon Musk's favorability among Republicans has declined since his feud with Trump, with an AP-NORC Center for Public Affairs research poll showing that the share of Republicans viewed Musk very favorably, dropping from 38% in April to 26% after Musk criticized Trump's tax and spending legislation, calling it a disgusting abomination. Katia Long, a 34-year automotive component factory employee from Woodstock, Alabama, said, "Some things have happened lately that have changed how I feel about him a little. I liked what he was doing when he was helping, but now I feel like he's kind of hurting," is what she said. Somewhat favorable. Musk clashed with Trump, which included claiming X, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would have controlled the House, and Republicans would win, be 51-49, and alleging without evidence Trump ties to all this other stuff. So what do you think happened there? Do you think that is a factual, like, do you believe this dropping from 38% favorability to 26?
I know it did for me, Pat, as a Trump supporter.
For you?
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Not so much them having a falling out, because that happens, but then you go in talking about Epstein list and basically saying he's a pedophile. You went too far. Like, one thing is us having a disagreement. A whole other thing is you trying to demolish my character afterwards. You can't be trusted. You know, I grew up in the streets. I grew up in the hood. You know what I mean? And I have enemies that I don't have enemies anymore. But when I was younger, I had enemies that I respected because they wouldn't cross the line. And there's a line that you just don't cross, even with enemies. You know, like, I'll tell you, like, let me give you a hood rule. You know, you don't call even an enemy. You don't call him a rat or a snitch, unless you got paperwork on him. But you don't even. There's boundaries you just don't cross. And I think that he crossed that boundary when he was saying, "Hey, the Epstein list," like, you went really far. Mm-hmm. And at that point, at that point, I lost my interest in you know, I'm. You know, how much I support.
You're Team Trump.
I'm Team Trump. Like, it is what it is. You know, not with everything that he does, but for the majority of the part, 90% of the time. And with me, I'm like, and by the way, my wife's in the next room. She straight up said, "Fuck Elon." Like, straight up. You know, and us, we're both very.
You don't want to piss
involved.
Eric off, bro. I know that. Off
She's
top,
a Mexican
off
from
rip.
Michoacan. You know, she's a Mexicana. She's a real
I'd
Mexican.
piss Ricky off all day, every day. Not Eric.
Not my wife. She's a silent killer.
I told her to leave the shank. It's in the agreement. Don't bring it.
Yeah, but that's our. We talked about this, and our sentiment is that. So I could believe that people have that sentiment.
How about you, Adam? Are you?
Oh, I agree with Ricky, and I'll tell you the exact point where I think Elon lost credibility. It was the second that he deleted the tweet. Because if you're going to say some foul-ass stuff, you leave that thing up there. Again, as if we're just going to forget that he tweeted that Trump was hanging out on Epstein Island and he was on the list.
Yeah.
Oh, did anyone not forget that? Everyone remembers that.
So
he appears to delete
tweet
the
tweet didn't do it for you, Adam?
No.
It was that he brought it down, like he didn't stick to his guns?
So two things. When he tweeted that, I was like, oh, that is some foul, nasty stuff. We did an emergency podcast, and I called him out. I said, that's weak. But then, if you're going to make that claim, stay with your chest. Double down on it. When you delete it, you automatically look weak. You automatically look.
I don't know.
But all the way, hold on, Tom.
Yeah,
the way that Trump handled it, the way that Trump handled it,
you could backpedal and apologize for something.
completely measured and probably the most respectful way I've ever seen Trump ever deal with any sort of backlash. He's like, well, look, you know, Elon is a nice guy. I think he's wrong, and you know, I feel bad for Elon. He's, you know, maybe he's on drugs. I don't know. But he just kind of backed out of that, and we haven't heard anything about the Trump-Elon situation.
In a minute, I'm going to show you Elon's most recent physical. I want you to see what he was on, what he wasn't on. But go ahead, Tom.
So I kind of look at it this way. Ricky, let's say we go back 20 years, okay? And I post something in early Facebook. And we both went out when I got a little tipsy, and I sent kind of a nasty post on you. And the next day you call up and you go, dude, at 2 a.m. you posted something on Facebook. What the hell? Right. And I'm like, oh, wow, Ricky, man, I was a little drunk at the time. You know what? No. I'm not taking it down. I'm sticking to my guns.
That's stupid.
That's not going to happen, is it?
That's a stupid-ass argument.
I'm going to take it down.
Bro.
I'm going to take it down.
Like, that shit makes no sense. Why would you double down? Like, you want to make these right. You're like, yeah, hey, my bad, but I'm going to leave that shit right there. What the fuck?
And you know what? I'll be over in 10 minutes, Ricky. So
Does
you
anybody
can
can
break my
forget that he
jaw.
took that down? Is anybody going to forget that? Are you that stupid that you forgot that, Ricky?
No, it's not. But bro, he made it. He shouldn't have done that. So he tried to.
Of course he shouldn't have done that.
Okay,
But the fact
so why
that he
would you
took it
double down on that?
You don't
Not
double
doubling
down.
down.
You
So,
take it down.
Tom,
You go,
but
dudes,
wait a minute,
man.
Tom.
I'm
Wait a minute,
sorry.
Tom.
I
My
just
bad,
pulled
bro.
it
I
down.
just called you a
Yes,
pedophile. Nobody.
yes.
It's so stupid to begin with.
By the
No,
way,
And
I
that
agree.
shows his character.
But here's the question, Tom. The question is, are you assuming he was drunk or on drugs? Because that analogy, you have to qualify that he was on drugs.
So, yeah, I'm not accusing him. No one knows what he was or wasn't. But it was late at night and it was rapid fire. So we can say that he was emotional and upset. I think we can say that
So, but
pretty
you don't.
objectively.
But are you? If you were to say, plus minus on, him being drunk or being on drugs, what would you put him when that tweet came
I'll
out?
put zero on drunk and maybe 30% chance ketamine or something.
Well, here's
and
his
very
physical.
Maybe it's a good
emotional.
time to use your
But
bong noise
like-
now, Tom.
And,
Don't do it.
And
I'm
you know,
begging
it's
you, don't
really,
do it,
really
please.
late when he did it, and it was rapid fire, two or
Okay.
three of them.
So here's his physical. So he got so
we've
pissed.
had friends that did this. We see the
Go back, Rob, to the tweet of
Tom,
what he
make the
said.
noise.
Here's his physical, okay? Elon Musk fires back. Please don't do it, Tom. I'm not on drugs. New York Times
later.
lied their ass off. Elon dropped his own drug test on X, negative for ketamine, coke, ecstasy, amphetamines, the works. This after New York Times wrote a whopper of a lie article that he was pill popping through White House meetings while advising Trump. Okay, go a little bit lower. Let's take a look at this. Physical. Can you put up the physical, Rob? Zoom in a little bit. No drugs found. So you got what? Amphetamines, ecstasy, negative. Cocaine, ketamine, methadone, opiates, PCP,
Cannabinoids.
nothing. Validity, normal. Validity of creatine, sugar, normal.
Not even creatine.
Wow.
Can you make one of these charts though on ChatGPT? Like,
Yeah, of
where
course
we
you
know that this is for sure.
So you,
Well, yep. I guess case solved. Elon Musk that owns Gronk and AI companies can't put together a fake drug test.
All right.
Buddy, if you want a fake drug test, I'll send you down to 20 people I know in Miami. You don't think that Elon Musk can figure this out in 2 seconds? Stop it.
do you believe this?
I don't know.
Do you
Pat.
believe this?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Hamonette.
Shakespeare
No, but
said,
listen,
I
my
think
thing-
you protest too much.
My thing is this: that whole situation, because you asked, I didn't get to it.
You want a fake drug test? I'll get you a fake drug
Yeah,
test in 20 minutes,
in
Vinny.
3 minutes.
You want to
But
pass that test, Vinny? Vinny definitely doesn't
So
do
you're saying
cocaine.
you don't believe this?
I'm just saying, if Elon Musk wanted to get a fake drug test, he's the richest man in the world.
I mean,
who's
well,
the doctor that he just basically puts on blast? Jennifer Taylor? What's her name?
I think.
Just
let me
scroll
get
in a
Vinny's
little bit.
thoughts, and then I'm gonna.
Could see her name.
If I allegedly got punched in the face by a gay guy that wears glasses in the
Scroll
White
up.
House, I'd be smoking cannabisoids.
no
What is it? Cannabinoids. I'd be getting high just to being able to deal with it. But I've
was
heard
a
lot
doctor's name on
I've heard a
the,
lot of
we've
rumors,
lost
but
total
I don't know.
control.
You just you saying something like that, bro. There's no coming
Jennifer
back from
Jennifer
it.
Taylor, there she is. Let's
I
have
think
a
we had
question with
that
her.
conversation, right? Like something like that happens. It's listen. Even if you apologize, and I love you, and I can still hang out with you, you're never going to get that level
No.
ever again.
It just happened to me yesterday.
Oh, seriously?
A situation like this happened yesterday, where it's like, okay, I got it, I'm out.
Oh, really?
What
Oh,
happened?
Like it's
No,
never
no,
going
I'm not
back.
getting
What is it?
specifics.
Yeah, yeah.
All
Took
I'm
a
saying
drug
to you
test
is,
yesterday?
I get it. I get what happens. Where for you, there's certain things you don't do where you lose a Trump. You have a Trump type of guy in your life, and then all of a sudden you do this. You see the part that you can never forget. Do you remember when Trump is running the RNC? He asks, not begs, asks Dana White to come to his event.
Yes.
Okay? Dana White comes to the event and speaks. And you know what most people didn't know about? He was on a trip, on a yacht, couple $1 million in Italy with his family, had to get a jet, had to get away for 2 or 3 days just to come. You know why? Because he never forgot what Trump did for him 20-something years ago when nobody would allow him to fight any place. He allowed him to have his fights at his place in Jersey. Who's the character there, Dana or Trump? Who gets the credit for the character that 20-some years
Dana.
later? Dana.
Dana
Because
White.
20-some years later, he's still grateful for what happened. He's like, my loyalty is this guy changed my life, right? There's certain things you don't do, but in this case with Trump and Musk, by the way, there are some people that side with Musk. If you've seen that poll shows 38-26. There's some people that still say, I'm with Musk, not with Trump. You know, it's a back and forth. For those of you guys that love business and you're super competitive, and I'm talking like a psycho competitor, you're somebody that wants to win at the highest level, and you know how challenging business is, that if you don't get your act right, somebody else is going to take your business away from you. This is when we're hosting our annual conference that's coming up here in September called the Vault Conference. We're expecting 12,000 people there. But one of the most exciting pieces of merch that guys wear who run, but you have to be bold to do this. Not for everybody. If you're a nice person, if you're sweet, if you're somebody that's always worried about what other people think, you walk on eggshells, this merch isn't for you. But if you're somebody that's tough, strong, you understand how hard business is, you understand that the real game of capitalism is super competitive, our official line of Business is War is back with some items here. Hat, straight up Business is War. You can get this one or the black one with white silver that says Business is War. On the bottom, it says Future Looks Bright. Rob, if you want to play the clip of this new merch that just got launched, go ahead, Rob. So funny because of what's going on right now. This couldn't be more accurate than what it is today.
Hell yeah.
Right? Because it literally is today. The market is changing, and those who realize there's war for market share. There's war for a lot of different things. So here's what we're doing. Anybody that places an order right now, go back, Rob, to that last picture that you had. Anybody that does gets that Business is War sticker, which is going to be sick. Put it on your iPad. Put it on your, different places you can put that on. And anybody that places a over $100 merch, you get Business is War mug that goes with it. So go to vtmerch.com. Place your order, Rob. Can you go to the homepage of VT? Right there. You see that? Click on it. Get the shirt, get the hat, get the collection. Shop now. If it isn't for you, somebody that runs a business you love, a family member, husband, sister, friend, get it for them. Send it to them. They will love it. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.